I've talked about this a lot on the show. The first time the first Gamergate happened, I was totally oblivious to it. I had no idea that it was happening. I heard it in the periphery, but I didn't know what it was about. And we've had some guests on the show, Short Fat KOTAKU. Dev really kind of gave me a good rundown of what the whole thing was about. And I got to be honest, if I was around 10 years ago, like, my background is in journalism. That's what I have my degree in. I've never said I'm a journalist. I'm not a journalist, but I know how to do it. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that bothers me in this whole thing is just the sheer omitted nature of facts, that you cannot call yourself a journalist if you're just going to blatantly omit facts. And that's the part that drives me the most crazy about this whole thing, is that, like, you can't deny, it's impossible to deny when that this whole thing started with a harassment campaign against Kabrutus. It's impossible to deny it. Or you could just totally omit it out of your story and pretend like it never happened. And so you can't call these people journalists. They're 100% activists, masquerading as so. And you know what Grums was saying about the influence in the industry and paid influence, and these big events to to kind of get sway with these different outlets, whether it's Kotaku and to a lesser part YouTubers at the time. It's always been there. I've seen it for many, many years, and that's why I want nothing to do with it. It's disgusting. And this is just showing all the warts on the ass of the video game industry. And you're right, there's zero power between Polygon, Kotaku, IGN. They're nothing anymore than 10 years ago. They mattered. Nowadays, Geeks and Gamers matter. Nerdrotics matters. Everybody on this panel matters way more than IGN ever will, way more than Kotaku ever will, way more than Polygon ever will. They're on the downslide. Everyone here is on the up. And that's what they're scared of.
Years ago, I used to go to IGN to see what reviews were out there. Latest game, latest breakdown, latest stuff. They had personalities that you actually knew. I don't know any personality at IGN right now. I know no actual personality. 10 years ago, there was personalities that actually, Greg Miller was one of them. I actually used to like Greg Miller when he was at IGN. Him and Colin Moriarty were fantastic when they were there. And they had an actual presence in the people there. You have a bunch of nameless people that no one actually cares about now. Who was about to go? Brutus, were you about to say something?
No.
Oh, somebody was about to talk. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Grums. Go ahead.
Well, no, I just want to riff off what you just said. First of all, the quality of opposition is much poorer this time around. 10 years ago, I think you had really good writers, and they were able, when they put a spin on something, they were able to do it convincingly. And now you just have blind activists. I mean, the Verge reporters sitting there saying, oh yeah, I deliberately omitted these facts in the timeline because that would go against my assumption that Kabrutus is a racist, right? So you have writers now, I think because the industry has collapsed so much, because all the OG writers have left, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. And because of their abandonment of meritocracy in hiring, I think you're getting really, really crappy writers now, and they are unable to sustain any sort of pushback. And that goes to Craig's point. I haven't seen anything on Twitter. GG1, when these reporters reported on stuff, I would literally get several thousand mentions of pushback in my Twitter per day. So much so I had to turn the phone off. I literally had to go walk outside because it was mentally crushing. Every time they posted an article, every time they mentioned me, it would be filled. Now it's crickets, absolutely crickets. All I get is the wonderful glow of gamers worldwide, and thank you for that.